Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our PFRDA Phase 2 exam analysis session. Today, we'll be doing a complete subject wise review of your 2025 Phase 2 exam analysis. And in the end, we will be also sharing the expected cutoff as per our understanding. So, video ke end tak bane rahega. Okay, let's start with the paper one analysis. Okay, let's start with paper one. So, broadly, we have understood that paper one was broadly doable, right? So coming to your essay writing, there were broadly four topics related to the artificial intelligence, the most expected one. Then there was improvement and advancement in the Indian Railway after 2016. There was one more topic related to the most unhappy customers is the best source of learning in the business development. And the fourth topic was related to your internship in the universities of the students. So I think most of the students must have done the artificial intelligence one wala topic, right? And your word limit was 250 here, right? And the essay. Coming to the next one, your Prezi writing. In your Prezi writing, it was related to Japan's demographic dividend challenges, and you need to write it in around 140 to 160 word limit was the criteria, right? And in your reading comprehension, this time you were having 5 questions in your examination, right? The topic was related to evolutionary mismatch living with the stone age minds in the modern world, and you need to answer the 5 questions here, right? So broadly this was your paper one, and it was doable, right? It was very much doable. Your paper one was sorted. Now coming to the paper two analysis, let's start with the commerce and accountancy. Okay, let's start with commerce and accountancy. And if I talk about commerce and accountancy, so it was a, I can say, a mix of easy, moderate, and tough questions, right? Some ambiguity was also there in some of the questions. The very first question, sorted one from your fund flow statement, sources of funds and application of fund. So there you need to identify which are the sources of funds, what are the application of funds. So if I talk about redemption of debenture and the loan repaid, they both are the application of funds, right? They both are application of fund because money is going out of your organization. The funds are going out of your organization. Second one is one of the most expected question in PFRDA. It was there in your previous year question paper. Plus, we have done it in the paid class. We have done it on the YouTube free sessions as well, right? So this was from your value of right computation, and we all know that the value of right is nothing but come right value minus your x right value. It can be done via the formula. You can do it via formula, plus you can do it via the short trick that I have told you. 125 rupees your current market price. 60 rupees is your issue price, 50 plus 20%. So the difference is 65. And this 65 is your expense, right? The total number of shares will be 5 plus 1, 6. So 65 divided by 6, somewhere around 10.8. The market price will decline by 10.8. So 125 minus 10.8, hardly it will take you less than 10 seconds to compute the answer by using this particular approach. Otherwise, you can do this via the formula as well, but it will consume your time, right? And I have told you guys in the free sessions as well on the YouTube ki इस वाले क्वेश्चन को हमको शॉर्ट ट्रिक से करना है. Then the third one is related to your bonus issue of share will result in increase in the share. Now there is an ambiguity in this question. Some of the students are saying कि कुछ relatable options भी थे, right? So I would ask you guys to please drop your opinion in the comment section. What were the other options? But as per my understanding, this is going to be the correct choice, right? Share will definitely increase if you are making a bonus issue, right? Your reserves and surplus are going down. The share capital is going up. Overall, there is no impact on the shareholders fund, but the number of shares will definitely increase. Fourth one is from your accounting standard 2, which is valuation of inventory. So a company has purchased inventory of 35 lakhs, 60% is sold and rest of the 40% is not sold, right? So 35 lakhs multiplied by 4 lakhs, 40% is 14 lakhs, right? 14 lakhs is the cost of inventory. And what will be the NRV? Because as per accounting standard 2, we need to account for the value of the inventory in the balance sheet at the lower of cost or NRV, whichever is lower, right? Cost we already know 14 lakhs, and what is my NRV here? So 16 lakhs is the expected selling price minus 15% is the sales commission that I need to incur in order to sell this one. So 13 lakhs 60,000 will be my NRV. So lower of cost and NRV 14 lakhs or 13 lakh 60,000. Which one is lower? 13 lakh 60,000 is the lower one. So that's your correct choice. Again, a very straight question. And in the very first 10 minutes of the valuation of inventory class, we learn this concept, right? So these are the 4 questions from your commerce and accountancy. Coming to the 5th question, again, it was from the accounting standard 2. Which of the following falls in the scope of inventory? So say, for example, if I'm a t-shirt manufacturer, then in that case, this will be the inventory. What I'm doing with these t-shirts, I'm selling it in the ordinary course of the business, and that's what the major purpose of the inventory is. So the correct answer is sales in the ordinary course of the business. And the last question, the 6th question from commerce and accountancy, is related to your exchange rate, right? The effect of changes in the exchange, foreign exchange rate, your AS 11. So this particular option, which was given in the question, you need to identify the incorrect statement right here. And this statement is incorrect. Goodwill or capital reserve arising from on the acquisition of the foreign operations translated at the historical rate. We never translate it at the historical rate. We translate it at the closing rate at the balance sheet rate. Right. So these are the 6 questions from your commerce and accountancy. Now, in examination, the language might be typical. Plus, there was one ambiguity as well related to that bonus issue. Right. So please let me know in the comment section what are the different options of that bonus issue so that I can clear that confusion. Coming to the costing, I can say costing was very much doable. The very first question was again ambiguity wala question, because you need to tell me whether this option of cost report was there or not in the examination. Some of the students बोल रहे हैं कि cost report था एग्जाम में, कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं नहीं था, cost ascertainment था, cost control था, right? तो ये वाला पेंडिंग रखता हूँ, आप लोग मुझे ऑप्शंस में बताओ. अगर कॉस्ट रिपोर्ट था तो कॉस्ट रिपोर्ट उसका आंसर हो जाएगा, नहीं था तो लेट मी नो द अदर ऑप्शंस. Coming to the question 2, cost cannot be classified on the basis of which of the following. So we never have any kind of criteria based on the expenditure. We do have on the basis of elements, we do have on the basis of functions, on the basis of behavior, right? On the basis of controllability. So here cost of expenditure is not at all any kind of criteria. So this is the correct choice. The third question, calculate the factory cost from the following data, and we have done a lot of questions related to this particular concept. Calculation of your factory cost. तो प्राइम कॉस्ट दे रखी है 50,000, डेप्रिसिएशन दे रखा है 2,000, अदर फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स दे रखे हैं 150% ऑफ द डेप्रिसिएशन. So can I say other factory overheads are 3,000 rupee? They are 3,000 rupee, right? Now what I need to do is, there is a single confusion जो सबके माइंड में कि आंसर 52,000 होगा या 55,000 होगा. So let me just clarify. आंसर यहाँ पे 55,000 होगा. Reason, other factory overheads are given on the basis of your depreciation. So high chances that this particular fixed asset is a part of your factory, not in your administration office, right? This particular fixed asset must be placed in your factory and it's aiding in your factory cost. Ultimately, it's part of your factory cost if the machinery is in your factory. So you need to add 50,000, 2,000 and 3,000, which is other factory overhead. 55,000 will be the correct choice. अगर ये लाइन नहीं लिखी हुई होती लास्ट वाली तो हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कॉस्ट अज्यूम कर सकते थे, but as of now they have directly given a relationship of depreciation with the other factory overhead. That's why I'm taking it as part of my calculation, and we have done this question in the paid class, right? Coming to the next question, the 4th one was again having some kind of ambiguity, like I think somewhere or the other they are asking you the question, what will be the material cost that will appear in the cost sheet, right? I hope this was the question only. So if that is the case, you are having direct material, you are having direct labor. I don't care about the labor. Why? Because I just need to calculate the material cost. So direct material cost 2 lakh, material ordering cost 5,000 and material handling cost 3,000. So directly 2,000, 2 lakh 8,000 will be the correct choice. Why? Because labor cost won't be included in the material cost. Plus the number of orders and the handling activities are just there to confuse you guys. So the correct answer will be 2 lakh 8,000. In case if anything else is there in the question, do let me know in the comment section for this one. The 5th one was again a straight question. It is more of related to your ratio analysis plus your marginal costing. It doesn't matter. It's a very simple question. The company has invested 60 crore rupee and is aiming for a return of 15%. That's your return on investment, right? Even if you don't know the formula, the name says it all, return is on investment, right? So your numerator is your return. What is return? Your profit. So 15% is your profit expectation. So can I say that on 60 crore investment, you are expecting 15% return? That means you are expecting a profit of 9 crore. That means you are expecting a profit of 9 crore. right? आगे बढ़ते हैं. It plans to sell 50,000 units of the product. So number of units are also given at the price of 5,000 rupee per unit. तो उन्हें आपको यहाँ पे क्या कर दिया, सेलिंग प्राइस भी दे दी है. Now you do have selling price, you do have profit. Now they are asking you the target cost per unit. Target cost per unit. So it's sorted. You have the selling price 5,000. You have the profit, but on a totality basis, let's make it per unit. 9 crore is your profit divided by 50,000 unit, that is 1,800 rupee per unit. Your selling price is 5,000. Your profit expectation is 1,800 rupee. How much cost you need to have? So 3,200 per unit will be the correct choice. Here it should be 3,200. Okay. 3,200 per unit will be the correct choice of your profit. A very simple question. No matter it relates to marginal costing or it relates to ratio analysis, I think it's a mix of both. It's a mix of both. Even if you are having a strong understanding of ratio analysis, this is very much doable, right? Sixth one, a very basic question directly from your previous year question paper, right? It is directly from your PYQ of your PFRD exam. It was there in the IFSC as well, last to last year. So the cost of the next best alternative is nothing but opportunity cost, right? Whatever we are sacrificing is our opportunity cost. So these are the 6 questions from the costing subject. Very much doable. Next one. Now the 7th question, exactly we don't know the question, that's why we haven't framed it. If you know this, this was related to the total quality management. So please let me know in the comment section. Shubh Singh, for cutoff, we'll be definitely sharing the cutoff, expected cutoff, but at the end of the session, so session tak aap last tak bane rahiyega. Definitely we'll be sharing the expected cutoff as well. The 8th question is related to your Six Sigma, a very direct question on Six Sigma. That is the very first thing that we learn in the concept of Six Sigma. It is 3.4 defect per million opportunity, right? So that's what the meaning of performance is in the Six Sigma. So these are the 8 questions from costing. Though your commerce and accountancy, I can say it was having some kind of ambiguity in one question, but your costing is very much doable, right? Your costing is very much doable. Coming to the next subject, which is your company law, your Companies Act. Again, it was very much doable. ये वापस से easy to moderate level पे था आपका. For listing its security on a stock exchange, what a company needs to do is obviously we need to take approval of the stock exchange. If you want to list your security on BSE and NSE, what you need to do is you need to take the approval of one or more stock exchange, right? Next one was related to your shares and debentures. Shares and debentures are transferable property, right? They are freely transferable. That's why we call them as movable asset. I can easily transfer my share. You can easily transfer your share. So that's sorted. Third one is related to your use cases of IEPF, Investor Education and Protection Fund. And one of the option was there, unsubscribed share capital, never a use case of IEPF, right? So that's the correct choice. And the fourth one is, if the auditor of a company has resigned, they must file a statement of resignation with the company and with one more authority. Obviously, it will be a registrar of the company. Any update that we are making related to the auditor needs to be very well communicated with the registrar of companies as well, right? So these are the 4 questions from your Companies Act. I think ये बहुत ही एवरेज लेवल के थे, easy to moderate level के थे, tough level के बिल्कुल नहीं थे. Companies Act. Next one is a direct क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू योर स्मॉल शेयर होल्डर. तो स्मॉल शेयर होल्डर की शेयर होल्डिंग लिमिट कितनी होती है? तो 20,000 होती है. ये पहली चीज हम पढ़ते हैं स्मॉल शेयर होल्डर्स के कॉन्सेप्ट, राइट? एंड ऑल मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस आई विल से कंपनीज एक्ट के आपके ऑलमोस्ट सारे क्वेश्चंस कवर्ड है रिवीजन सेशंस के अंदर जो यूट्यूब पे डले हुए थे. नेक्स्ट वन वाज रिलेटेड टू योर which committee of the board is responsible for resolving the grievances of the security holders of the company. So that is stakeholder relationship committee. In order to resolve any kind of query which the different stakeholders are having, we have a stakeholders relationship committee in the Companies Act. And the last question, if you are not satisfied with the order of NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, you can go to NCLAT, Appellate Tribunal, right? You can go to the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. So 45 days is the time limit. These are the questions from Companies Act, right? These are the questions of Companies Act. Coming to management, I would like to invite Varsha ma'am for covering the management section. So over to you, Varsha ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. हेलो एवरीवन। सो यहाँ पे हम पीएफआरडी के फेज 2 के मैनेजमेंट क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस करेंगे। सो एज वी डिस्कस्ड इन द मैराथन सेशन एज वेल कि वी वर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि आपके 5 to 6 क्वेश्चंस विल बी फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट पोर्शन, और हमने यहाँ पे जो आप क्वेश्चंस देखेंगे ना, यू विल फील लाइक कनेक्टेड कि हमने जो मैराथन में या फिर रिवीजन पोर्शन में क्वेश्चंस किए थे, वहां से बहुत सारी चीजें आपकी कवर हो रही थी। ठीक है, एंड द क्वेश्चंस वर क्वाइट डुएबल, बहुत इजी क्वेश्चंस वी कैन से वर फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट पोर्शन, राइट? सो यू कैन सी द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट, जो आपके मैनेजमेंट अप्रोचेस रहते हैं, फर्स्ट में जो हम फंक्शंस ऑफ मैनेजमेंट करते हैं वहां से क्वेश्चन था, राइट? एंड एस्पिरेंट्स, लेट मी टेल यू वन मोर थिंग कि ये सभी क्वेश्चंस मेमोरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, कि जो एस्पिरेंट्स एग्जाम देकर आता है एंड दे डिस्कस विद अस लाइक ये क्वेश्चंस रहे थे, तो ऑन दैट बेसिस वी फ्रेम a specific kind of question. ठीक है, yeah, ma'am, save us. Thank you so much, Sukshing. So question number 1 was about, according to the principles of management, dash is a function that involves setting objectives and determining a course of action for achieving them. ठीक है, so we discussed that they are the 5 जो आपके इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप रहते हैं जब भी हम बात करते हैं मैनेजमेंट फंक्शंस के बारे में, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द प्लानिंग, then organizing the resources, then staffing, then directing and then controlling. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट है आपका यहाँ पे कौन सा फंक्शन? प्लानिंग विल बी द राइट आंसर। आपको ऑप्शन में पांचों दिया होगा, बट यू हैव टू चूज द वन जो इस स्टेटमेंट के साथ सही फिट कर रहा हो। ठीक है, yeah. Next was, in a pestle analysis, what do the letter SEL represent? See, ये clear नहीं है कि कौन से E की बात यहाँ पे हम कर रहे हैं. So, as there are two E in pestle analysis, basically what is pestle analysis? So it is done for the business to understand कि macro environmental factors क्या है जो हमारे business को affect कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? So political factors can affect, economic factors, social factors, आपके there are technological factors are there, environmental factors are there, and legal factors जो हमारे business को affect कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, so there was a question related to piston analysis in your examination. Yeah, एक क्वेश्चन था related to the Pygmalion effect. ठीक है, so we discussed about the Pygmalion effect so many times, so इसको मैंने example देकर भी कराया है आपको काफी बार. So it is a psychological phenomena, right? जिसमें the higher the expectations will be placed on any individual, that will lead to improvements in our performances. इसी को हम self fulfilling prophecy effect भी कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो we discussed it with an example कि जितना हम अपने आप से बोलते हैं ना कि हमें 100% अचीव करना है, we want to attempt 100 questions with accuracy. ठीक है, तो जितना ज्यादा आप अपने साथ एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखते हैं उतनी ही ज्यादा आपकी परफॉर्मेंस इंप्रूव होती है. ठीक है, तो वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द पिग्मलियन इफेक्ट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, तो आई थिंक ये क्वेश्चन आपका सही होगा. ठीक है, एंड प्लीज लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट बॉक्स अगर क्वेश्चन किसी दूसरे फॉर्मेट में आपके पेपर में गिवन थे. ठीक है, ताकि इन आवर रेगुलर क्लासेस विल डिस्कस अबाउट देम. ओके, नाउ मूविंग ऑन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Yeah. So there was a question from the leadership. We were expecting कि हमारे leadership से, motivation से और management से तो question रहेगा ही रहेगा, right? क्योंकि यही हमारे 3 major topics रह जाते हैं. Communication से this time we were not having any question from the communication portion, लेकिन हमारे phase 1 में था communication से topic. So question number 4 was about कि इस leadership style को हम क्या कहेंगे? Do what I say. So like the student who had discussed with us, तो उसने क्वेश्चन बताया था, बट coercive लीडरशिप भी बोलते हैं इसको और अथॉरिटेरियन लीडरशिप भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है, जिसमें जो लीडर है ही इज हैविंग ऑल द अथॉरिटीज विद हिम, वो सारे डिसीजन खुद लेगा, ही इज नॉट लेटिंग यू द पार्ट ऑफ द डिसीजन मेकिंग बॉडी. ठीक है, तो लीडरशिप स्टाइल कौन सा था आपके ऑप्शन में? अगर कोर्सिव था तो कोर्सिव, अगर अथॉरिटेरियन था तो अथॉरिटेरियन आप लोग मार्क करेंगे. ठीक है, या positive effect and negative effect. Okay, positive effect if it was mentioned तो positive effect आप आंसर मार्क करेंगे noise. ठीक है, noise you have to mark the positive effect. आपकी परफॉर्मेंस इंप्रूव, लाइक आपने अपने आप से एक्सपेक्टेशंस को बढ़ा दिया है, और जैसे आप अपने आप से एक्सपेक्टेशंस बढ़ा देंगे आपकी परफॉर्मेंस भी इंप्रूव हो जाएगी. एंड द पिग्मेलियन इफेक्ट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग प्रोफेसी. ठीक है, हाँ. नेक्स्ट है क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 इज है, अकॉर्डिंग टू मैस्लोज हायरार्की ऑफ नीड्स. ठीक है, तो देयर आर 5 लेवल्स इन द मैस्लो हायरार्की ऑफ नीड्स. सो क्वेश्चन वाज रिलेटेड टू द सेल्फ एस्टीम जो आपकी नीड है एट विच लेवल इट इज लोकेटेड इन द पिरामिड। तो अगर आपसे पूछा गया फ्रॉम द बॉटम तो यू विल मार्क फोर्थ लेवल पे, एंड फ्रॉम द टॉप अगर पूछा गया तो ऑन द सेकेंड लेवल। ठीक है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द बायोलॉजिकल और द फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड, देन सेफ्टी नीड्स, फिर हमारा बेसिकली जो बिलोंगिंगनेस है, सोशल नीड्स और द बिलोंगिंगनेस नीड्स, देन द सेल्फ एस्टीम नीड्स, एंड अबव और जो आपके टॉप मोस्ट है वो आपकी सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन नीड्स है। ठीक है, so that was a question. See, there was a question related to the term developmental is most closely associated with which major HR function. ठीक है, अब इसके ऑप्शंस हमें क्लियर नहीं हुए कि व्हाट वर द ऑप्शंस है, लेकिन वी डिस्कस्ड इन द एचआरडी पोर्शन जब हम ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज डेवलपमेंट के फंक्शंस की बात करते हैं तो देयर आर थ्री मेजर फंक्शंस: एम्प्लॉय, ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट, करियर डेवलपमेंट एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट। अगर ये ऑप्शंस आपको गिवन है तो आप इनमें से मार्क करेंगे। मेजरली इन सभी फंक्शंस का काम क्या होता है? एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट। ठीक है, कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयज जो है सभी एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व हो, बिकॉज जितने एम्प्लॉयज इन्वॉल्व होंगे उतना ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट अच्छा होगा, आपका करियर डेवलपमेंट विल ऑल्सो वर्क। ठीक है, सो दीज वर द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम योर मैनेजमेंट पोर्शन इन योर एग्जामिनेशन, राइट? अगर कोई और क्वेश्चन भी था किसी और फॉर्मेट में, प्लीज लेट अस नो इन द कमेंट बॉक्स, एंड प्लीज ऑल्सो टेल कि ये क्वेश्चंस आप कितने अटेम्प्ट करके आए फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट पोर्शन। Now, Payal, ma'am will be there to cover your next portion. Over to you, Payal, ma'am.
All right. So thank you so much for covering management part, ma'am. And now just focusing on the pension part. So I think most of the questions were approachable, but कुछ questions जो है, एक दो questions जो थे वो confusing भी थे, right? So I think most of the portion was approachable in nature. But हाँ, अगर किसी ने थोड़ा सा भी use करके या फिर अगर कहीं भी थोड़ा extensively किसी ने भी अगर पढ़ा था, so I would say that all of the questions, like most of the questions were approachable in nature, right? So, all right, the first question that we get from pension sector here is about the age limit of NPS only, right? And we have discussed about it a number of times when it comes on to NPS here. So the question, or when it comes on to this NPS part here, so the exact answer is of course 18 to 70 years only. Of course, it is extendable as well, or maybe when it comes on to when it comes on to the other part as well, when it comes on to the continuation beyond 60, so that is also something which is a very important part of it. But when it comes on to the exit parts, that of course depends, right? So the age limit is exactly 18 to 70 years only, but beyond 60 you can just continue it, right? But exit part is something which varies here, right? जो normal exit होता है, अगर किसी भी individual ने 18 से 60 तक जो है, अगर एग्जैक्टली अगर 18 से जो 60 तक है, अगर उसके बीच में ही जो एनरोल करा है, सो नॉर्मल एग्जिट इज देयर। अगर कोई भी इंडिविजुअल 60 के बाद जो है वो एनरोल कर रहा है, देन ऑफ कोर्स आफ्टर 3 years द वन कैन एग्जिट। सो एग्जिट डिपेंड्स, अदरवाइज द एज लिमिट इज सेट हियर, दैट इज 18 to 70 ओनली, राइट? सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सेज आफ्टर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन इज मेड टू एनपीएस, बेसिकली दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन कि जहां पे जो अमाउंट है वो बेसिकली हमारे अकाउंट में कब रिफ्लेक्ट होगा। सो आफ्टर कॉन्टिन्यूशन, लाइक आफ्टर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन इज मेड टुवर्ड्स एनपीएस, within how many days should the amount be reflected in the subscriber's amount? So this is specifically T plus 1. Yes, Indian citizens plus OCI are also part of it, right? So this is specifically T plus 1, date of successful transaction plus 1 day. So T plus 1 is the exact answer, that is 1 working day. Okay. Next question talks about old pension initiative by the government of India, specifically targeted at informal sector or unorganized sector, were known as what? Now I am confused in the this options here, but otherwise like this is all based on the options only. So people can also tell me that what was the exact question, or maybe options if you people know about it. But the correct answer to this particular question, even when I talk about Swavilamban scheme, and even when I talk about NPS Light also. So yes, both are there for unorganized sector. So this is what becomes the correct answer here, right? All right. So next question says, under the NPS exit rule, if the subscriber retires at the age of 60, the total pension corpus is 24,50,000. Now here the amount is given to you people, but the calculation is not at all tough, right? The calculation is super easy if you know the exact ratio. Now what are the permissible limits for a lump sum withdrawal? So if you people remember, तो हमने इसका lump sum cost के बारे में भी करा था, and we talked about the annuity part as well, which is nothing but 60-40 only, right? So nothing has to be done here. What you need to do is just 60% of 24,000, 24 lakh 50,000, and 40% of that. And this is a simple calculation that you people can do by that you people can do. और उसके बाद जो आंसर है करेक्ट क्या आएगा, इफ ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट 60%, द करेक्ट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी 14,070,000, and on the basis of the another calculation, that is 40%. So the correct answer that is going to be here is 9,80,000. So this is not 79 lakh and 80,000, but this is 9,80,000. So you can just correct it out here as well, right? So 14,000, like 14,70,000 is the correct answer on the basis of 60%. जो 40% basis के ऊपर आएगा वो होगा 9,80,000. So this is what is the correct answer if these are the options which are given in the paper. All right. So fifth question correctly says here. Okay. So fifth question says, now if you are able to see three of the questions here, that is all on the basis of grievance addressal mechanism only. So अगर pension system में, फिर अगर आपको pension sector में, if you have any of the grievance related this is if you have any grievance that is all related to your pension account here. So this entirely says that in the pension sector, grievances which are related to the intermediaries such as CRA, POP, or trustee bank, or PFR, PF also, are to be resolved within how many working days. Basically, what happens if you have any of the if you have any problem that is all related to your account, right? अगर कोई भी grievance है, so you specifically approach the specific, these intermediaries here. Then if you do not find your problem to be resolved, then you approach NPS Trust, and then finally Ombuds, which is specifically like you approach Ombudsman, right? So this is how we are having these many levels, and on these levels only, you're given 3 questions here. So grievance के ऊपर ही जो 3 questions है, they have framed up. So the first question that they have asked here, so the first, और अगर level 1 में अगर कोई भी आपको आंसर या फिर अगर कोई भी solution नहीं मिलता है, so the time period that has been given here is specifically 30 days. Okay. It used to be there before 30 days जो है वो level 2 के लिए भी होते थे, but after the amendment 2024 amendment here, now it has been reduced to 21 days. So that is what is the correct answer here. So 30 days is specifically for level 1. If you do not find your grievance to be resolved, then you have to approach NPS Trust. Now the question entirely says, the question is quite confusing, and accordingly you can just mention your you can mention your views in the comment section as well, that what was the exact question, or maybe what was the answer that you have given in the paper. So in the NPS grievance redressal mechanism, what is the stipulated time limit for the resolution at level 2 escalation to NPS Trust when it is made, right? So I've already told you, if you do not find your problem to be resolved in at level 1, then you can go to level 2. It means अगर पहला जो आपने अप्रोच करा है, अगर वहां पे आपको सोल्यूशन नहीं मिला, then only you can approach to NPS Trust, and then finally you can approach to Ombudsman also. So that the correct answer here is 21 days, right? Next question says, grievance that remain unsolved by the intermediaries, right? Intermediaries के बारे में मैंने first question में बताया, that is fifth question. Or NPS Trust as well. So if you do not find your grievance, like if you do not find your problem, or if you have not got your solution here at level 1 and level 2 also, so of course then you will be reaching out at the level 3. और वहां पे you will be able to approach Ombudsman as well. So grievance that remain unsolved by intermediaries or NPS Trust within a prescribed time can be escalated to PFRDA Ombudsman within how many days from the date of final reply or closure? So the correct answer here is 45 days, right? So what you can see here, that entirely when it comes on to 3 questions, they are entirely from the grievance only, right? Next question is about Atal Pension Yojana. I told you previously also while we were doing questions. So पहले भी I told you that Atal Pension Yojana में से there are high chances a question will be asked, right? So there is a very simple question. So under Atal Pension Yojana, what is the required monthly contribution for an 18-year-old subscriber to receive fixed monthly pension, that is 5,000 at the age of 60, right? Now the pension, minimum pension or maximum pension, that also varies here, 1 to 5K only, that is 1,000 से लेके 5,000 तक. And ये जो monthly contribution है ना, that also varies according to the kind of according to your entry part only, right? So they have specifically asked about 18 years old subscriber only. अगर कोई specific age के ऊपर जो है या फिर अलग अलग age के ऊपर जो है वो subscribe करेगा, so उसका जो monthly pension है वो vary करता जाएगा. But they have asked you specifically for a subscriber which is 18-year-old subscriber. So the correct answer to that particular question is 210 only, right? So that is what is the correct answer. Next question, which is related to pension sector. is something which is again related to pension, like Atal Pension Yojana only. Now you're having three statements here, which is again very, very easy to approach. So you're having multiple options as well. The first statement says here, all right, so the first statement says the government provides a guarantee minimum pension amount to the subscriber. I've already told you 1 to 5K, that is 1000 se leke 5000 tak. So this is the correct answer. After the demise of a subscriber, the same pension is received by spouse. And this is the simplest statement that has been given here, but हमने इससे भी ज्यादा complex जो questions है वो करे हैं कि जो amount है वो exact कितना transfer होगा, किसको transfer होगा, और अगर दोनों का demise होता है तो then who's the one who's going to claim the entire amount. So second is also the correct answer here. After the demise of subscriber only, the kind of benefit will be given, or maybe when it comes on to the pension, so same pension is going to be given to, like same pension will be received by the spouse, right? After the death of both subscribers and the spouse, who is the one who's going to get benefit here? That is of course nominee. So these are the things which we are already these are the things. Yuvraj, again, if you do not find it here, of course, you can just mention your comments also. You can mention that what are the questions that you got in the paper. Of course, this is also something which we got to know that these are the questions which have been framed, right? All right. So third says that after the death of both the subscriber and the spouse, the accumulated pension wealth is returned to the nominee. So that is also the correct answer here. So this makes all of the questions, all of the statements as a correct statements here. So again, saying this is when it comes on to APY, even when it comes on to NPY, NPS here. So most of the questions were approachable in manner, right? Easy questions थे, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि बहुत ज़्यादा जो tough questions थे वो पूछे गए थे. So again, अगर मैं स्पेसिफिकली अगर मैं यहाँ पे रीड्रेसल की बात करूँ, so वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग क्वेश्चंस थे, बट अगेन if you have read that out, so of course those were also approachable in nature. So we are done with the pension sector here. Now I'm handing out the Mannat ma'am here the entire slide. She's the one who's going to deal with the economics part now.
Thank you so much, Payal ma'am. Now we're going to discuss about finance and economics. कि आपको किस टाइप के questions आए थे? Firstly, which of the following is not a subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India? Very easy question. You should know that. तो PFRDA हो गया. Non-scheduled banks are not listed in which schedule of the RBI Act? तो हम क्या करते हैं? We divide banks into two parts: scheduled banks and non-scheduled banks. तो scheduled banks कौन से होते हैं? Those who are mentioned, in the second schedule of the RBI Act of 1934. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? Second schedule of RBI Act. फिर definition of startup, we don't have the exact option with us as of now. So if anyone knows the exact option, तो आप मुझे comment section में बता दीजिए, ठीक है? And then we can maybe find out, कि correct answer क्या रहेगा. Then what is the inflation targeting framework currently followed by RBI? Very easy. इसको तो almost in every class, almost in every live mint analysis या फिर कोई भी class है उसमें I've already discussed so many times. 4 plus minus 2%. मतलब हमारा band जो है वो 4% रहता है usually, और उसकी range can be between 2 to 6%, right? फिर which of the following is not a type of goods and services tax in India? तो IUGST, हम GST के बारे में बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं. If you are preparing for the examination, हम GST के बारे में बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं, right? ठीक है, चलिए नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ओके, then an investor has a stock portfolio worth 20 lakh with a beta of 1.25. To hedge the portfolio using Nifty futures with a lot size of 100 and a current futures price of 1050, you have to calculate the number of futures lots to trade, specify the action कि buy or sell होगा, क्या होगा. If the futures price at the end of the hedge period is 1020, calculate the profit or loss from the futures position. तो इसमें आपका आंसर क्या था? 24 lots. सेल होगा, प्रॉफिट ऑफ 72,000. ये आपने इस तरह से कैलकुलेट करना था. Then in India, typical private equity fund is structured as a dash and is regulated by dash. So trust होता है ये private equity fund and is regulated by SEBI and AIF. तो अगर हम फाइनेंस के क्वेश्चन देखें तो they were quite doable, easy थे. मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस इजी थे, बहुत इजीली से कर सकते थे, बहुत बेसिक चीजें भी पूछी गई थी, राइट? फिर हम बात करते हैं इकोनॉमिक्स की. A sustained increase in the general price level mainly caused by aggregate demand exceeding the economy's productive capacity. तो हम जब डिमांड जब बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, उससे जो प्राइसेस में इंक्रीज होता है, जब एग्रीगेट सप्लाई नहीं बढ़ पाती, व्हाट डू वी अंडरस्टैंड बाय इट? इट इज कॉल्ड डिमांड पुल इन्फ्लेशन, राइट? वेरी इजी टाइप्स ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. What is the standard mathematical representation of the Fisher equation also known as equation of exchange and the quantity theory of money. So MB is equal to PT. हम अपने क्लासेस में जो इकोनॉमिक्स की कोर क्लासेस रहती है उस पर हम ये डिस्कस करते हैं. अगेन वेरी इजी. Formula nominal GDP on real upon real GDP into 100 is used to calculate which key macroeconomic indicator. तो हमें पता है ये GDP deflator का फॉर्मूला है. Nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100. Very easy question. That means हम ये inflation को जज करने के लिए देखते हैं, right? Then which of the following indices best reflects general price changes in the economy? General price changes कौन देखता है? CPI and GDP deflator. GDP deflator तो यही हो गया nominal upon real GDP into 100. Again very easy questions, right? Next slide please. काफी easy questions थे, doable थे. अगर थोड़ा बहुत भी you have studied, तो it will become very easy for you, है ना? Right? Then which of the following methods is not used to calculate national income? हम तीन methods देखते हैं national income को calculate करने के लिए. Product method, income method and expenditure method. तो यहाँ पे अब इंडिया की अगर हम बात करें national income को, I've always told you कि हम 2 types का use करते हैं usually, है ना? तो यहाँ पे क्या है? Product method, cost of production method, ये है. Which of the following best describes the money multiplier in an economy? The ratio of broad money to reserve money. ठीक है, so M3 upon M0, इससे हम money multiplier को देखते हैं. ठीक है, so that is all. अच्छा, फिर इसके बाद है cut off analysis. Let's do the cut off analysis now, right? ठीक है, हाँ जी. तो यहाँ पे जब हम कट ऑफ एनालिसिस की बात करते हैं, यहाँ पे आप 2022 के अगर कट ऑफ देखिए फॉर फेज 2, तो जनरल स्ट्रीम में क्या है? आपका 51 रहा था पेपर 1 में, पेपर 2 में 33.75 आउट 33.75 आउट ऑफ 100, और जो वेटेड स्कोर आपका रहा था, जो हम फाइनल जैसे कट ऑफ देखते हैं फॉर टोटल वेटेड स्कोर, वो था 63.67. बाकी लीगल स्ट्रीम के लिए अगर हम देखिए तो 51, 33.25, 61, है ना? सिमिलरली पेपर 1 में सबका था, सब स्ट्रीम का, है ना? एंड इट वाज वेरिंग फॉर पेपर 2 फॉर डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम्स, है ना? अगर हम सिर्फ जनरल की बात करें तो 33.75 और जो वेटेड स्कोर है 63.67. अभी वेटेड स्कोर कैसे कैलकुलेट होता है? पेपर 1 का वेट रहता है 1/3, पेपर 2 का वेट रहता है 2/3. ठीक है, तो ये है आपका टोटल वेटेड स्कोर. अब हम इस बेस पे 2022 के कट ऑफ के बेस पे वी आर गोइंग टू सी कि इस साल का कट ऑफ क्या रहेगा. ठीक है, हाँ जी. तो यहाँ पे देख लीजिए, अगर हम एक्सपेक्टेड कट ऑफ देखें फॉर 2025, तो आपका पेपर 1 का 51 to 55 और जो पेपर 2 है उसका 30 to 35 तक आपका कट ऑफ जा सकता है. और अगर मैं वेटेड स्कोर की बात करूँ तो 65 to 70 जाए. अब ये वेटेड हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? वेटेड स्कोर हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? 60 इन पेपर 1, मान लीजिए आप फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको पेपर 1 में आया है 60 मार्क्स, उसका 1/3 कितना हो गया? 20. मान लीजिए पेपर 2 में आए आपके 90 मार्क्स, तो उसका 2/3 क्या हो गया? 60. तो टोटल वेटेज क्या, वेटेड स्कोर क्या हो गया? 60 + 20 80. सो बेसिकली यू शुड बी गेटिंग एटलीस्ट 65 प्लस, ताकि आप सेफर साइड पे रहें. ठीक है, तो आपका जो अगर हम एंटिसिपेट करें तो पेपर 1 का जो सेफ स्कोर है 55 to 65 रहता है और पेपर 2 का 65 to 75. अब देखते हैं कि फाइनल कट ऑफ जो आपकी आती है वो क्या रहती है. ये हमारी तरफ से व्हाट वी हैव एनालाइज्ड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू, ये हमें जो ऐसा लग रहा है कि इसके अराउंड होना चाहिए बेस्ड ऑन द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट वर आस्क्ड, है ना? एवरी टीचर हैज टेकन अप द सेशन ओवर हियर. सबने आपको बता दिया है कि क्या रहना चाहिए है. इजी टू मॉडरेट था, मॉडरेट टू डिफिकल्ट था, कौन सा सेक्शन बहुत इजी और डुएबल था. बेस्ड ऑन दैट ये हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि इसके अकॉर्डिंग आपका रह सकता है. ठीक है, सो ऑल आई एम गोना डू इज विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. लेट्स सी फाइनल कट ऑफ क्या रहता है, एंड आप कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताएं कि जो भी हमने आज डिस्कस किया है उसमें से कितने क्वेश्चंस आपके सही हैं. कोई और क्वेश्चन आप बताना चाहते हैं कि ये भी था, तो वो भी आप लिख सकते हैं कमेंट सेक्शन. ठीक है, सो दैट इज ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड. थैंक यू सो मच एंड आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. बेस्ट ऑफ लक टू एवरीवन. लेट्स वेट फॉर द रिजल्ट्स नाउ. ओके, बाय बाय.